Gojo versus Sukuna. Drawn a few of these, but they're kind of like split page ones. This is more of a sort of full face-off sort of thing. Two boys in the one frame. So landscape page, pencil eraser for these. There's 4 hands, 2 faces. Anatomy, take your time, it's complicated. Hit pause if I go too fast, right? We start with Sukuna. Their heads are fairly small, so we're going to have to zoom in. And they're in profile, right? Top third of my page, the head will be up here. Right? So probably bottom half to the hand, chest, heads. Go. L shape or 7 for the nose. So you can add a nostril, kinda, maybe there. Okay. Top of this nose line, you go out for his brow and up, so it kind of becomes like a zigzag kind of lightning shape. And then his forehead will kind of like curve back that way. See the top half of his skull sort of drawn in there now. Just across from this point of the nose where the zigzag changes out for his brow, that's where his eye will start, just inside it, right? See, go diagonal. And then across this way. It kind of spikes down there, right? And then we just leave a little gap and draw the bottom of his eye shape. Like so. And then his red iris and ellipse, because it's looking to the side, it's turned on its side, right? And that one would just be red. You can put a pupil if you want, but it's quite small, so it might be difficult. So we got a bit of an eyelid line just across the top there. And then his eyebrow, sort of arched curving up and over. They're both like super happy. It's like Batman and Joker or something when they're fighting. So he does have all those facial tattoos and things in the other eye, but we'll just get the main shape for the head drawn in first. So his top lip comes out, pointy goes in then. His teeth are closed. Gojo's mouth is sort of more open, so it comes down that way. Bottom lip sticks out, down for the chin then. So, top lip, sort of we go this way. And then he's kind of smiling, right? So this is like up a bit. Okay, and then kind of like a teeth line kind of there. Bottom lip there. And then the jaw goes this way up to his ear. And then this goes down to his neck. And we kind of like get his Adam's apple sort of sticking out a little bit here. Then we go down closer to his chest and neck muscles and stuff. So at the top of his jaw, we get his earlobe. And then his, like he's got a sideburn V, and then the top of his ears there. Could get like some hair spikes starting here. And then we just go around for his hairline then. Hair spike there, down onto his head. There's some ear lines. earlobe and stuff just inside. And right, before I do the hair, I'll just do those facial lines, right? So he's got that spike, comes down across the bridge of his nose, kind of just goes underneath his eye and like that way. And then he has that little one on his forehead, just there. And then the other red eye. Very small, just in here. Like so. So two of those little sort of shapes there, and then this seems to go down around his cheek. So it's kind of roughly drawn in on this. Down towards his chin to a spike sort of here. Is there another one just kind of floating here, maybe? He's all sort of banged up as well. Right, so hair spikes then. So just coming out from the top. Again, just going back. Okay, and maybe some textures just in here. Now, that's his head. So then, punching fists and stuff. So back of his neck. So he's got like a collar that comes down just from here, right? And then the back of his neck kind of goes down into his kimono, sort of loose thing that he wears. And we could have like some neck muscle there and there. So his collar down this way, very loose, down tied to a waistband down here, right? And this is like his shoulder sticking out. Okay. Then like a little bit of like anatomy in here, so like his chest will go sort of that way, the other side that way, and then chest muscle going down there. And right, and then his waistband is just kind of tied with a strap. There. So it's like flowing and stuff, so it's like moving around, and so it doesn't have to be exactly the way I'm doing it. Fabric sort of moves around, right? And then this comes down right to that way. He's got a fist here. And his back is kind of like, I'll get this in, just like all this loose sort of clothing, and that's a black belt because he's obviously a black belt. This is like the top half. You know, it's all tied here, so this is just a bit of flowy fabric. Coming down around his body. So I think that just goes that way. That goes that way. And then his legs are like splayed wide, so they just go there. Gojo stance is pretty much the same. They're like mirrors of each other. Right, and then like lines just crisscrossing going that way. So that goes into there. Yeah. Right, so hands and fists and arms. So I guess we'll do the punching hand and his shoulder up here. You might hear children shouting in the background. Sorry about that. My kids are noisy. So that goes there. So his shoulder's up here, right? Shoulder's higher than the fist. Comes down. It's kind of like bumps this way. Tricep and shoulder. And this like goes out to his elbow or something out there. It might go off my page. A few more room, you could just bring it to a pointy elbow and then down in here. I ran out. And then his forearm sort of comes down here. And then it looks like there's like a vein or something on his arm. And then, so his fist comes up to like his middle finger knuckle, right? And then comes down here. And then there's another knuckle, his index finger just around the front of it. Hands are hard now, take your time. So then his ring finger knuckle here. Hand bones here, and then his pinky. We can see the full side of this, right? So it like curls around on the inside of the palm of his hand. So you get all these wrinkle lines there. And then a hand line. Then it just looks like the bottom of it, the palm of his hand. Then it's just goes that way. And then maybe we can see like a bit of his thumb sticking out here. And then we just finish off his clothing, just like you can see kind of his armpit area. It's got an open, again, flowing loose section here. Just like his back or his armpit in there. And then he has those markings on his shoulder, so he has like a circle. One there. Should be two, no? Put another one. And then two on his wrist. Yes, body there, that comes down. Okay. So the other fist then just down this way. So coming out from behind here. And just around to his middle finger knuckle. It's the biggest one. Sticks out the furthest. Then we just go around, down. And then just try and get 2 more on this side. Well, that's his ring finger knuckle. Well, it's kind of connected. Right, 1, 2, and then a third one. The pinky is the one that sort of wraps around itself here. It's like the palm of his hand. It kind of joins his thumb. Over the top, around to there. It's like just some wrinkles on the palm of his hand. And then those black lines just on his wrist. Do. Okay. Now, so gojo. That's basically sukuna. You could do more sort of scratches on him and stuff if you wanted, of course. Like blood everywhere and beat him up as much as you want, really. So we do gojo now. So they're nose to nose nearly. So gojo's nose, same sort of thing, right? So it curves out. And then down into this sort of letter L sort of shape. Sukuna is kind of pointier in this picture. And then the nostril just there. So gojo forehead comes out here and then comes back like that. So his eye, so you know, we've got those blue sort of eyelashes. Difficult enough when it's this small, but we'll do our best. So we'll go diagonal first here. Just again, sort of across from this point, same as sukuna. It's kind of maybe up a bit higher. And then that goes that way, right? So his is kind of different. It's kind of like the pink color in his eye. So I will add some sort of spiky kind of-ness to it, lightly. And then some eyelashes there in the front. Now it's kind of difficult to do that when it's this small, but... And bottom of his eye then just sort of curves around here. And then his iris, again, a thin sort of circle. And his will be blue. Bit of an eyelid line there, and an eyebrow. We got to do gojo's like with a color inside. It's not black like sukuna's. Again, he's really enjoying himself. So gojo's mouth is open, right? So what would be... yeah, so you can kind of see a bit of a gap in the lips. So we'll go down, right? And in. So it's kind of, his mouth is open, so we'll go this way, right? There for the top, and then it curves back down. Maybe the bottom lip kind of sticks out a little bit, then down, there. Then we'll put like his teeth in. Go around the back. Then the bottom teeth there, and maybe like tongue. And we should see like some of the skin on the other side of his mouth, maybe. So like, or should we? I'm not sure now. No, that looks okay. Maybe because his mouth is so wide, it's open. The person who drew this closed it. I think I'll leave it like that, actually. I like it better. It's just there's a gap in there. The person seals it off with skin, but I don't think that makes sense. Anyway. Bottom lip. People tell me I talk too much. It's probably true. Can't help it though. And then this goes this way. I'm really quiet in real life. This is like the most I talk ever. Jaw goes this way. And then kind of changes direction up for his ear. And then earlobe. And ear shape, right? Ear lines inside. So it's like a letter J. Get you started, and then you can build it up if you would like. Some shows just do the J shape. And then his sort of sideburn starts to go up this way. Oh, let's see. Okay. So his hair is pretty much the same as Sukuna's. Maybe it's kind of like shaved at the back a bit, so we'll go that way. And then like the back of his head is like there, and then we got like some spikes and stuff. So it like spikes pretty similar to Sukuna's, like just around his head basically. So excuse me for the coughing. I think my voice is going. Just keep doing some textures and stuff then. I always have this nightmare, I forgot to hit record. No, we're okay, we're recording, thank God. Oh, I have done that before. Okay. Let's, back of his neck goes this way, front of his neck, we get like an Adam's apple down to there, and then like neck muscle, going this way as well, like outstretched. This could be a vein actually. Okay, so Gojo has like just a t-shirt on, like Toji style. I think it is Toji's uniform actually. Curving around, Or like that's what it's supposed to be. Right, and then roughly we just go chest sort of here, right? And then his shoulder comes around, and then chest comes down, right? So that's like the center line for his chest there. And then like his back, like his trapezius goes that way, sort of hits his shoulder here. So his t-shirt's real tight to his bicep. I think there somewhere. And then his tricep goes out this way. And there's another fist in there, but we'll just do we'll do the rest of his sort of anatomy sort of here first, right? Then we kind of get like his stomach there, and then there's like some abs and things here. Like his t-shirt being pulled, maybe. Then we get his back kind of high up as a fist there, so back kind of there. Thin waist, belt, toji's, sort of style clothing, loose like sukunas, right? Loose sort of waistband and very wide stance, sort of just like big pants on. Right, there's this sort of wavy sort of belt here in the middle. You could do this anyway. I'm just like randomly putting little sort of shapes like that, right? And then his leg real wide out like so. You have all these folding lines then for these very, very loose pants. There's another belt thing there. Right, fist then, and arm and hand and all that. So we can kind of see forearm, elbow kind of might go off, or we might be able to fit this whole one in. Yeah, just about. Right, so this is like his forearm. It's kind of wider at the top. It always reminds me of like a bowling pin. Do you know that sort of shape in there? This sort of comes down to his wrist. There. So that's his t-shirt. Kind of like his armpit, and his bicep will kind of go in there. And I think they do just like a vein or something on his. And then there's just like a fist, kind of a mirror image fist of this. Maybe a little bit different, but it's pretty much the same. And just go out for his top knuckle. Like so. And then there's the other fist as well. So 4 hands. Don't forget the other hand, me. So like a knuckle coming out here. Wasting pens. Other one. Like his thumb maybe. So this is his pinky, and you can always see like the complete side of the pinky. You know, it's curled up in this hand position. You get kind of some skin lines on the side of his hand. Just join the hand to the thumb. There's like some knuckles on the side of the pinky there. There. Right, one more fist down this end coming out from his body. So palm of the hand, kind of this double bump, and then his wrist. This sort of comes up to his thumb first. Like wrist bones stuff there. And so then like just pinky sort of, all these knuckles, 2, 3, 4, right? So index comes behind thumb, so does ring finger. Then we can see the side of that one, and then the curled up pinky. And then like debris. Could be blood, who knows? Such a good fight, definitely one of the best fights in all of anime manga history. And they just enjoyed themselves. Hope it's helpful. Thanks for watching, see you in the next one.